Check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
And it's 10:30 on this Friday morning, and this is our segment with Rick Gates from the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory. Rick is unable to be with us here this morning, but he does have two people that have, at least one of them has been here before. Vicky is here from Chubby Hands, and she also has her son, Josh, with her. So, guys, good to see you here this morning.
Hi, TJ.
How you guys doing?
We're good.
And you're going to hold down the fort today for Mr. Gates, huh?
I sure am. We're going to give it a whirl. I don't know if we can do as well as he would.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Take it away.
Okay. Well, so Ricky has a service today and couldn't be here, but we agreed to fill in for him and kind of do our best to talk about the Gates Funeral Home as well as he does, and, of course, the Chubby Hands Foundation as well. So Ricky first wanted me to tell you how thankful and blessed he is to be nominated for the Best in Fayette 2 years in a row. He is very appreciative of everybody's votes and faith in the funeral home. You can call the funeral home at 724-434-8040 or reach them at gatesfuneralhome@gmail.com or on their website, www.gatesfuneralservices.com. Again, I am Vicki from the Chubby Hands Foundation. This is my son, Josh, who is a new officer on our board of directors as of last week. He is our new vice chairman of the board, and I'll let him talk in a few minutes. The first thing I wanted to talk about this morning is how the Chubby Hands Foundation ties into the Gates Funeral Home. Ricky and I partnered up to start the foundation in 2023 to help families in Fayette County through the angst and the grieving process and the financial process of losing a child. So while the funeral home is independent from the foundation, we are partners in this endeavor. And so you can always contact Ricky, who is our vice president of the Chubby Hands, if you know somebody that has lost a child, or you can also contact any of us at the foundation at 724-984-2106 or at the Chubby Hands Foundation at gmail.com. So I will formally introduce you to Joshua Muscannon, who is our new vice chair with full decision-making process and abilities in my absence.
All right. It's grateful to be here. It's a very different experience for me. I'm usually talking in a more public setting, not behind a microphone in a radio studio. Why not? See, I don't even know what I'm doing. It's all good. But yeah, no, I have a very big heart for this foundation. Probably a lot of it to stem back from what has happened to us throughout our lives and experiencing loss, and to know that sometimes you just need a little help. You need a hand, and the Chubby Hands is very honored to be able to be that helping hand for people, and to be able to reach in and step in and let families know that they're not alone when they're going through one of the most tragic times of their life. And for me, that's something my heart really pours out for. And I'm beyond grateful to be a part of this foundation, beyond grateful to work with Gates Funeral Home. Even Gates Funeral Home's been that funeral home itself has been in my life probably more than I would like it to have been, but I wouldn't have it any other way when it comes to where it was at. No, but I'm grateful to be here. To all the viewers and listeners, happy Halloween. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you have more treats than tricks today. Here's a treat you can give to anybody. Just share the message of the Chubby Hands with people. Let them know what we stand for, what we're about, and what we do. Because right now there's somebody out there that might really need that piece of information, that thinks they're alone and they're sitting in a dark place right now with no light at the end of the tunnel. We'd like to be that light. So share. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. And one of the things coming up on November the 6th is Fayette Gives. And if you are not aware of what that is, it is a 1 day, a 12-hour period of giving online that you can go to fayettegives.org, and all nonprofits in Fayette County will benefit from that day of giving. And you can donate throughout the day online. You can mail in a check prior to the opening of November 6th. But that is a very, very important day for nonprofits in Fayette County. And it will help us to help families in our own community when they lose a child. And it helps us bear the burden of the financial piece of it, and allows the family to just grieve. So that's one of the big things we have coming up. The other thing we have coming up is we'd like to sponsor the siblings to our angel babies in Fayette County for Christmas. We have siblings still here with parents that have lost a child. Some of them are not working yet. Some of them are still in the throes of the grieving process. But then on top of that, they're worried about how they're going to give Christmas to their other children. So watch out for an announcement coming up with that. And we're going to have dates at the office at 60 Connellsville Street, Suite A, where you can do a drop-off for a gift if you'd like to sponsor one of these children. And it won't be anything astronomically expensive. We just want to be able to help these families during this, holiday season and give a lift.
And if there's anything, if something in your heart is telling you to give, every little thing helps. It doesn't have to be over the top, anything eccentric, just anything helps. Just imagine being in the shoes. I'm sure we can all relate to feeling, loss and to losing somebody and to be struggling with all of that in the midst of trying to raise other children and get money together for the holidays, pay the bills, keep food on the table. Let's help lighten the burden a little bit and lighten the load of these families. And if it's in your heart to give, please. I know the families would be grateful. We would be very grateful. Let's pull together to let these families know that they're not alone. And even after the process of the funerals have gone, the grief still stands, but there's still people here to help that have their back. So, let's show out.
Yeah, we all have hearts for giving, and we all have hearts for helping those right here in our own community. You can do a direct donation at thechubbyhandsfoundation.com. You can contact us through Facebook. If you don't do the electronic thing, you can always call us. One of us is usually at the office a few times a week. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention is if you are grieving, and not just the loss of a child, grieving the loss of a spouse, a parent, a sibling, an adult sibling, go to the Gates Funeral Home website. There is a way for you to sign up for daily emails with a grief tip for each day. I use those myself. I get an email every day that tells me how to navigate through the grief process, what to expect, how to handle certain things that come up that are unexpected. Get those if you feel like you need, a little bit of grief support. We're also available for more than just grief support for families who have lost children. We're available to help anybody through the grief process at the office. We can do some phone things if we have to. If you're homebound and you just need, some conversation, we're available to help you.
Just life circumstances, even life coaching. Sometimes people just need a little help getting along the path. They have the answers. They just need the guidance.
Absolutely.
Much.
And the importance of grief support is one that people often brush aside because they think I'm strong enough to handle this on my own. And I don't think there's a living soul on earth that has lost somebody that is so important in the day-to-day of their lives that can handle that on their own. You can dwell in the pits of grief for years and allow somebody to share that burden with you and to give you lift up out of that pit of despair that you're going, especially during the holidays. Grief hits so much harder when you're celebrating an important event that person is just no longer there with you. We believe in the afterlife. We are Christians. We believe in God and know that, they're just away for a little while. They're still here in our hearts, and they're still able to see and feel and hear our sadness and grief. but we're going to see them again someday. That is our firm belief.
And as reverends, I think that it's important for us to share with you that you will see them again one day. That when the casket closed, that wasn't the end of their story. Their story is going on and on and on for eternity in heaven. And someday, you guys will see each other again, and eternity will move on from that. And going through these stages of grief right now, in the earthly realm, in this life, don't go through it alone. Please don't. The mind is a very powerful place, and it can get very dark very quick if you let it. People like us sitting here, there's countless of other good counseling services around Uniontown. We're not saying that we're the best or we're the only one, but please reach out to somebody. Please just talk and share, share your story. Share the life of the ones that you lost. Keep their memory alive in that way and honor them by sharing it with other people to know that they're not alone in their storm and their valley, and help be the life raft.
Absolutely. Everybody needs support during the grieving process. And I like to tell people that, when we leave the funeral home after the final services for anybody that we love, life goes on for most of us. But for the people that are, that have just lost the most important thing in their lives, it goes on and on and on. And there's no way to prepare for that. One of the other things that I had to talk about today is preparing for the loss of a child. There's no preparation for that. But if you know your child is diagnosed with a terminal illness, if you know that the end is coming, let us help you prepare for that. Let us help guide you through what your options are, what the process is. So many times we lose children through trauma, through unexpected accidents, through things that shouldn't happen but do. But there's often times that kids are diagnosed with cancer. Kids are diagnosed with terminal illnesses. And not only do you have to grieve while they're still here, you've got to prepare for a life without them and all of the things that go along with that. We're here to help you. We're here to guide you through. We're here to help take some of the weight and the burden off of you so that you don't have to do it alone. Reach out. We're here. We're here to help all of you.
In any way, shape, or form, there's no way to prepare for the loss of a child, even if you know of a terminal illness that they've been diagnosed with. I think somewhere in the back of our minds, we still believe that it can't happen to us, right? That they're going to beat it. We're going to be okay. But at the same time, you know the reality of the situation, and you try to remain strong, and you try to act like you got it all together and that you got it all handled. Don't let your pride get in the way. Please reach out to somebody. Please reach out to us. Let us help you. Let us help you, especially in those times when you're on the train and you're stuck in the tunnel and it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But sometimes there's just a curve in it. And if you hop off the train now, you're never going to see the light at the end. And if you let us help you get there and help you through the process and help you through the grief. And don't do this alone. Please don't.
Yeah, it's lonely. You can be alone and still not be lonely. But the grieving process it compounds loneliness. It compounds, just the despair and the no hope for a future. There is hope for a future. There is hope for you to thrive after the loss of a child. There's hope for you to pay it forward someday when you're ready and be that light to another parent who has lost a child and tell your story. We can't say this enough. In the early stages of grief, it's hard to share your story because it brings all of your sadness and your despair back to the forefront. But as you start to heal, there's so many other parents out there that need that light only you can offer because only you know exactly how they feel and exactly what they're going through and exactly what they're going to need to get through it and just be that light for that person, especially now. The holidays are coming. Navigating this holiday season without your child is horrible. And yet you still have to paste the smile on your face for your other kids. You still have to pretend that everything is right in your world and people expect you to be over it, especially the first holiday that you're going to experience without that child. It's devastating. You want to get into bed, cover your head up, and just not come out. And you want to sleep through all of these important moments because it's easier than facing what you know is going to come.
Yeah. Yeah. Holidays are tough. They're really tough. Wow. And I don't know, for some of you listening, I don't know if everybody knows our story of why the Chubby Hands even came to be. And this goes back to sharing your story and sharing the life of that child with other people. My nephew, my mother's grandson, was taken from us. He passed away as a baby, and that's very hard to see the purpose in that. It's very hard to see where the meaning in that is going to come in and how that's going to help anything, sharing that with somebody, especially shortly after when the holidays coming up with Thanksgiving and Christmas and the following holidays after that and birthdays. It's always in the back of your mind. It's always one of the first things you think of when you wake up on that day, and you don't want to move through it. And it's hard. It's very hard. But if you don't share that story, back then when all this stuff happened, none of us thought that we'd be sitting here. None of us thought that we would have a foundation to help other children. We lost a child in our family that we really, really loved and we really cared about, and we felt robbed. And we didn't know where to go from there. And the best way to keep the memory of little D alive, and the best way to help other families going through these similar circumstances that we were going through, was to create a foundation that honors the memory and that can reach out and say, we understand. We honestly do. We're not just a foundation that's created out of good intentions. It's a foundation that's created out of a heart for these situations. And we want, more than you would ever know, we want to help. We want to help. Man, with the holidays coming up, I know, I still have feelings whenever the holidays come around of missing loved ones and having seasonal depression. It's important not to hold it in and to keep it to yourself and choose happiness every day. That's a lot harder to do than it is to say, but you get around good people. Make sure you're sharing. Make sure you're telling people what's going on with you, because holding it in, holding that baggage in, it's just weighing you down. It's not making you any lighter.
Absolutely. And, my grandson was 8 months old when he passed away, and he passed away right before the Christmas holiday. So needless to say, we spent about 2 years where we didn't celebrate Christmas at all, because it was so devastating to even think about a Christmas gift or a Christmas tree without him being there, that we just stopped celebrating. And then, you do heal. You do grow in your grief. But growing also means learning, and grief is a learning experience for sure. It teaches you how precious life is, how short it can be, and how none of us know when our time is up. We have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, stepping forward in faith that we're going to do something to honor their legacy. And by doing that, even if the only way you can honor their legacy is to help another grieving parent, you're honoring their legacy. You're telling their story. Somebody's saying their name, and that keeps their memory here and lets people know, hey, don't forget about them. They were here, and we're going to say their names, and we're going to remember, even if their life was cut short after just a few days. If they were born sleeping, they still were here. They had a name, and they have a mommy and daddy that love them more than anything and are going to spend the rest of their lives missing that part of their soul.
Yeah, that child's value isn't diminished because of the stages of life that it was in. The love is still there. The care is still there. The stages of life has nothing to do for me, the importance of the life of that child. So grieve. Allow yourself to grieve. Share that. Please share that. There's power in testimony, and you have no idea how your story, you might just think you're blabbing, you might just think you're complaining, you might just think you're venting, but your story could save somebody else's life today. Your story could change the way somebody's viewing their situation, but they will never know if they don't hear it from you.
Absolutely. And again, while our hearts are deep into the Chubby Hands because we know firsthand the resources that weren't there for us when we were going through this process. Most funeral directors in this area don't charge for children, but there are some that will take advantage of situations, let me just say, and some people don't want to just cremate their child because they don't have the money to have a service, to have a closing funeral service. Sometimes the hospitals do encourage cremation just because it's, the more financially economical way to speed up the process. This is a choice that you will regret every day for the rest of your life if you don't make the right one at the time and what's right for you. We have done cremations that if that's your choice and it's the right one for you, we'll help you through that. You can take your baby home with you then. You can take your child home with you then. But if that goes against everything you believe in, we have also done viewings and services and burials and graveside ceremonies. We do annual things to help these families, that are still in the throes of grief and celebrating these. And I say celebrating, but it's not celebrating angelversaries. It's another step in the healing process. That's what our hearts are here for. But Gates Funeral Home, Ricky is the most compassionate, kind soul that I know. And we absolutely love him and his family. We've come together as a family through this whole process of creating the foundation. It doesn't, if it's not a child, if it's an adult, call Gates. You will not find a more compassionate, kind person to help you navigate what you need to do for the future, how you need to handle this step and that step and what comes after. He's very well versed in what's needed in any situation. And he's here to help.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like it does, even if it's not your child or that has passed away. If you have a loved one that's passed away, Gates Funeral Home is going to give them the proper care and treatment that they deserve on their way to the afterlife. And it's good to know that you have comfort that they're going to be taken care of, and they're not going to just be rushed through and let's just get them in and out and get this over with. No, Gates takes their time to make sure that the family is good, that your loved one is being sent out the proper way and getting the right send off. You couldn't ask for a better place to go through than Gates Funeral Home. That's where we've had funerals my whole life, and they've always been very good to us. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And, me personally, when it's someone I love that I know that I'm saying my temporary goodbyes to until I see them again, I want to know that the person taking care of them is going to take care of them with as much love and compassion and kindness as I would. And I can honestly say I've never seen anything but kindness and compassion from the entire Gates family, no matter the situation. So, we're about to close out here soon in a few minutes. Wanted to introduce again the board of directors now with Josh for the Chubby Hands Foundation. So I'm Vicki Wheatley, president, founder. Ricky Gates is the vice president. And then Joshua Muscannon is the vice chairman with full decision-making abilities. And then Jeremy Davis of Davis & Davis is our legal director and consultant. He does a lot of things for us, answers a lot of questions when we don't know quite how to navigate a certain situation. We're here to help Fayette County, plain and simple. Help these families navigate the grief process. We have a website, www.thechubbyhandsfoundation.com. We can be reached via email at thechubbyhandsfoundation@gmail.com. Our phone number is 724-984-2106, and we do have office space at 60 Connellsville Street, Suite A in Uniontown. Only by appointment, please, because we do have other jobs that we work, so we have to kind of, schedule some things when we know that it fits for all of us. And Josh is available, I'm available, Ricky's available. One of us is always available at any time if you need anything, even if it's grief support, the loss of a child, you need some help planning some funeral services for something is coming, give us a call.
Yeah, absolutely. You take advantage of that. We're here. We want to be used. we want to be needed. So please take advantage of that. And beyond that, I am a big believer in each one teach one. Right. So right now we're in Fayette County. We would love to get to other surrounding counties in the future. But right now we're starting at home, starting at the home base. And you look around Fayette County and you see so many things that you want to change. Well, here's my message to you today. Be the change. Teach somebody what you know. Get out and share a message with somebody. Get out and do something good for your community. We're doing this because we have compassion for families going through a tough time, but more than that, we have compassion for people. We love people. We know that as Christians, we're all children of God, and sometimes everybody just needs a little help along the way. We all do at some point in our lives. So if you're out there today, you see somebody struggling, please just lend a helping hand. It doesn't take much to give somebody 2 minutes of your time. Time is one of the things that we value the most, but use the worst. Find a good way to use it today. Open the door for somebody. Use your manners. Let's be the change in Fayette County because it's so desperately needed right now. And please take advantage of the Chubby Hands if you need one of us, whether it's biblical counseling, whether it's grief counseling, whether you just need somebody to hear you for a minute. Please reach out and call. That number again is 724-984-2106. Please, I beg you, please take advantage of this opportunity and get some help along your journey.
Absolutely. And, again, Gates Funeral Home can be reached at 724-434-8040, gatesfuneralhome@gmail.com, www.gatesfuneralservices.com. Ricky's available pretty much 24/7. And if you can't get Ricky, you can always get one of us at the Chubby Hands number, and we can get to him if needed. Reminder of Fayette Gives on November 6th, and that website is fayettegives.org.
Make sure you get out there and give to your local charities and your local nonprofits to help them help others. What is that? Fayette Gives. That is on
November 6th.
On November 6th. So after you're done voting earlier in the week in your local elections, make sure you get out there and give to your local nonprofits, because those are the ones that are really behind the scenes making some changes and trying to help some people without looking for the notoriety or to stand on a stage and get applause. Help the people helping behind the scenes so that someday maybe you're going to need help and we can reach back and help you as well.
Absolutely.
And you guys mentioned earlier the funeral home in the Best in Fayette. They won 2 golds and 1 silver this year for Best in Fayette.
And I can't tell you how we're grateful for that. Mm-hmm. But Ricky is just so humbled by the support in Fayette County for him. Yes.
Yeah, it's nothing that hasn't been earned. I mean, he puts the work in. It's well deserved.
So we have about a minute left if you guys want to give your information and Rick's information one more time.
Absolutely. Gates Funeral Home, 724-434-8040, gatesfuneralhome@gmail.com, or www.gatesfuneralservices.com.
And if you want their address, it's 136 North Gallatin Avenue in Uniontown. Yes. And then your information, Vicki, for Chubby Hands?
Sure. So the Chubby Hands Foundation is 724-984-2106. We're located at 60 Connellsville Street, Suite A in Uniontown. And the website is www.thechubbyhandsfoundation.com. not orgricky.com.
He always messes that up.
Yep, and the Chubby Hands Foundation at gmail.com is email.
All right. Well, thank you guys for both coming in today, and continued best wishes, and good luck with all the work you're doing out there.
Thanks, TJ.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that was our segment for the Gates Funeral Home here on this Friday. You're listening to WMBS Uniontown. It is 11 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm Steve.